Hello everyone, welcome back to Super Lorcana World. Today's video is going to be the continuation of the series where I review all the cards in the first chapter. And today we are we are covering all the Emerald cards. I'm going to give you my initial impressions on Emerald before you can get started. This ink has a very high ceiling. You know, when we covered Ruby in the last video, it's pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of combo potential. It's very, very, very simple, very straightforward. Something like Emerald cards, though, it can just do all sorts of things. I feel like this might be one of the toolbox inks and one of the bread and butter inks of a lot of decks because there's just so much you can do with these Emerald cards. They fit in a lot of different strategies, and they do a lot of different things. So I do think Emerald is going to be one of my favorite colors so far going into the first chapter. But now that I got that out of the way, what do you guys think? Let me know what you're thinking is the best Emerald card in the first chapter. Of course, please like, please comment, and please subscribe as we are a new channel. We're trying to grow, and we will have a giveaway at 1,000 subs, which will be announced soon. So let's go ahead and get started here with the very first card announced, Cruella de Vil, a 2-drop that can be used for ink, 1/3 that quests for 1. When this character is challenged and banished, you may return chosen character to that player's hand. It has to be on the field, and it can be any character on any player's field. So you can bounce back your own stuff to combo, or you can bounce back your opponent's card to be an interruption. Pretty good. Not going to complain. I like this card a lot. It's a nice cheap body, and it forces your opponent to deal with it, and if they don't deal with it, it's just going to get you 1 lower every turn. So, that's pretty cool. Not bad. We have Jumba Jukiba, a 5 for a 4/5 for 2 lore. It's a vanilla get used for ink. It's just okay. I like other vanilla cards more than this one, but it's okay. Then we go to Aladdin, a 2-drop that can be used for ink, 2/2 for 1 with ward. Opponents can't choose this character except a challenge. A solid 2-drop. A little bit weak on the stats, but it's okay. I think it's an okay cheap card for the start of the game. We have Lady Tremaine. This card, when I read this card initially when it was spoiled, I was like, oh man, this card's going to be crazy potentially. It costs 6. It cannot be used for ink. It's a 1/5 that quests for 1. I think that's okay. When you play this character, you may return an action card from your discard to your hand. Yeah, this card's very good. There's a lot of action cards that we've covered already in the first few episodes of this series, basically. And there's still more to go. And Emerald has some really good ones too, and you can just return them to your hand. Let's just use Let It Go for an example. The blue that costs 5, unless you sing with it, which you can sing with Lady Tremaine by the way, because it costs 6. So you add back your Lady Tremaine, use Lady Tremaine, add back Let It Go. Next turn you exert the Lady Tremaine because you don't want to quest with it. Whatever, it's 1, no big deal. And then you let it go again. That's pretty good. And that's just one example. That's just one example of crazy shenanigans you do Lady Tremaine. And there's more. There's more than that, but to keep, this video not half an hour long, this card's very good. This card will see play for sure. We have Cheshire Cat, a 3 that can be used for ink, a 0/3. When this character is challenged and banished, banish a challenging character. What's very nice about this card is that it has 2 lore. So it puts your opponent on a 10-turn clock if they don't deal with it. So they either have to waste removal on it, or they have to challenge it and banish it and accept that whatever banishes it through challenge, it's going to go away. And I think that's a really, 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 really important thing. This card's not bad. It'll probably see some play. Mickey Mouse here, a 3 for a 3/4 for 1. Nothing too impressive there. The Beast is Mine. For 3, that can be used as ink. Chosen character gains Reckless during the next turn. They can't quest and must challenge if able. I like cards that give certain cards Reckless, especially opponents' cards. It's really, really cool because you take something like Maurice, who is meant to be a quester, and you make it challenge. That's annoying. Not bad. Don't forget that cards like these are a -1. These are a -1. They just are. But maybe you can trap something into challenging instead of, questing, and then that character that has to challenge disappears because you only have one character on the board or whatever. So this card potentially could act as pseudo removal. At worst case scenario, it's a annoying card for a turn, and I think it's okay. We'll see play, not a lot, if any at all, but it is a cool concept for sure. Iago, the 3-drop 1/4 for 1. It's you got a problem, you exert this, chosen character gains reckless. I like this infinitely better than this because this is a character and can do it every turn. It's not a neg one to play this card. It just stays on the board. I like this. This is a good card. This will see a lot more play than the Beast is mine. I can guarantee that. All right, we got a Genie. We got a 6-drop Genie. Cannot be used as ink, but it's a 3/4 that quests for 2. It has evasive. That's nice. So it's not just, Amber or Ruby that gets all the invasive cards. Also has Disappear. When you play this character, you may return chosen character to the player's hand. So you play it for 6 and you bounce any character. That could potentially be really annoying. Again, think of things like Maurice. Maurice is a really good example because I know that card will see play. So let's just talk about Maurice for a second. They pay 6 to play their Maurice or whatever. Before they can quest with it, you bounce it back to the hand. They have to play it all over again. That's good. That's good value. Will this card see a lot of play? I think it'll see a little bit of play. It's not bad, honestly. It's not too bad. We have a Beast. A 5-drop Beast cannot be used as ink. 4/4 for 2. This has Rush. It can challenge turn it's played, which is good. And Roar. When you play this character, exert all opposing damage characters. This is a good Rush card. This is a very good Rush card. Because assuming there's damage on the board, you can exert everything. If maybe the opponent was leaving something unexerted for some reason, and then you come in with the Beast, and you wipe it out, potentially, with Rush. This is a good card. This card will see play, just because it's basically removal on a body. Basically removal. So, nice card. Nice card. We love it. We're going to go to Peter Pan, a 3 for a 3/2 for 1, evasive. That's it. Cost 3. It's okay. Nothing too fancy here. We have Duke of Wesselton. We had a generic 1-drop for a 2/2 for 1. It's fine. Good, decent early drop. Hans is a 4 for a 3/3 that quests for 3. The value on this vanilla is slightly better than average, which is nice. And it probably will see play because it's a 4-drop that quests for 3. Yeah, it's really easy to get rid of because it only has 3 defense. But, if it sticks around for a turn or 2 turns, that's a lot of value. Yeah, it'll probably see play. We have Stampede. 1-drop. Cannot be used as ink, but whatever. Deals 2 damage to chosen character. It's a Fire the Cannons for Emerald. Now, what's super interesting is this combos with the Beast, right? Just for example, if you have 6 ink you can use, you Stampede something, you Beast, and then you eliminate that, maybe. If they just played a character fresh that turn with 6 toughness or with 6 defense, all of a sudden, it's dead. So little combos like that are cute. They are nice combos. We have Vicious Betrayal. Shout out to the Lion King. The moment that made a lot of children cry. You love to see it. Anyway, it's a 1 cost that can be used for ink action. Chosen character gets +2 for the turn. If it's a villain, it's +3. This card is Giant Growth from Magic. It's just Giant Growth. Not instant speed Giant Growth, but Giant Growth. It'll probably see a little bit of play. Because you got to think about cards like these in the sense that, yes, they are a neg 1, but if you can stick it on something that would cause your opponent to also neg 1, then it's an even trade in terms of card advantage. So I think this card will see play, and it can be used as an ink, worst case scenario. Mother Knows Best, a song for 3. A 3-year cost where a character can exert to sing the song. Return chosen character to the player's hand. This is really, really, really good value. You guys remember, where is it? That's the Genie, right? The Genie costs 6. This costs 3. Or it can be free. Having a 3-drop on the field is not the hardest thing in the world in this card game. And it just bounces to hand. Sure, it's not Dragonfire, it's not dead, they can replay it, but potentially could be really annoying. It's a stymie card, and that's all it is. It's a neg 1 because the card goes to your opponent's hand. It turns them off for a turn, potentially. Alternatively, you can use it on your own character if they're racking up damage and bounce it back or whatever. There's little cool things like that. But yeah, I think this card's okay. I don't think it's going to be a 4 of anything like that, but decks will play it probably a little bit. We have a Artful Rogue Mickey Mouse that costs 7, or you can shift for 5. All right. Misdirection. Whenever you play an action, chosen opponent's character can't quest during their next turn. This card is a decent card. There are, again, things like Maurice that live for questing. So this is a card that says, oh, by the way, you can't quest. It gives you additional payoff for having an action. Not to mention 6/5 is a strong body, and that you can play it for 5. You're probably not going to play for 7. You're probably going to play for 5. I like this card a lot, and there are, you can abuse this ability. It's not once per turn. It's pretty strong. Speaking of abusing it, we have Do It Again, Lady Tremaine's actual action card. For 3 costs, return an action to your hand. This card will see play. 100%, I'm not doubting it. This is probably going to be a 4 of in control decks. The cards like this make control decks really good. Imagine in Magic or Digimon or whatever, cards that add back, cards that can be used right away to cause annoying issues for your opponent. It's meta. It's meta. And if you combine it with maybe this card to, bring back a cheap action or whatever, what's really interesting is if you have 2 of these, it's a loop. You can just return them over and over again. So once you have this Mickey Mouse on the board, you can play for 3, return 1 from trash, and do it all over again. It's funny. It's really funny. This card, depending on the cards that exist later on in the game, might have to be banned or limited to 1. Just because if something exists that takes advantage of a loop like this, God forbid makes it cheaper as well, or something like that, or you get buyback or ink back or whatever, this card could get hit on the list. So I'm just going to let you guys know that right now. We're looking way into the future here, but this card's great. This card's a fantastic card. We have the Stolen Scimitar for 2. It's an item. Exert. Chosen character gets 1 this turn. Otherwise, 2 power if it's Aladdin. Aladdin tribal deck, not a bad card. It gets pretty hairy, especially with that big red Aladdin, Ruby Aladdin. Pretty good card. We got Flynn Rider. Oh, by the way, finish analysis on this card. Yeah, this card's useless if you're not playing Aladdin deck. If you're playing Aladdin tribal, this card gets a lot better. All right, Flynn Rider. A 2-drop 1/2 that quests for 2 and can be used as ink. Whenever this character is challenged, the challenging player chooses and discards a card. Hand advantage in this game, in the first chapter may be hard to come by unless you're playing something like Maurice. You know what I mean? There are certain cards that give you draw power in this game, and there are not a lot of them right now. So something like Flynn Rider that quests for 2, if your opponent wants to get rid of it by battle, they have to discard a card. Alternatively, they can just waste removal on it, and then you're fine with that, trust me. So I think this card's good. It'll probably see a little bit of play. We have next, Megara, Pulling the Strings. 2 for a 2/1 for 1. When you play this character, chosen character is +2 for the turn. It's not a bad card. It could be the difference between beating something in a challenge and not. It's okay. Maybe it sees a little bit of play. Maybe a little bit. We have Cusco, the 5-drop Emperor here. 2/4, quest for 3. It's crazy. Has Ward, great, and no touchy. When this character is challenged and banished, you may banish challenging character. So it's another Cheshire Cat, only a way stronger Cheshire Cat. This card will probably see play. It will likely see play, just because it's a card that has to be answered by challenge because of Ward, and then you have to banish the challenging character. You may banish challenging character. You probably are. This card's very strong. We have a 2-drop Genie. This will come in play later, but it's a 2 for 2, 3 for 1. Not too bad. We have John Silver. Pick your fights for 6, 5/5/2. When a new player this character and whenever he quests, chosen opponent's character gains Reckless. It's another Reckless payoff. This combined with Iago, you're gonna have cards that make things reckless, and it's once per turn basically. So that's really cool. Just be careful because if you quest with it, they might have to challenge it, and then you're like whatever. Also, look at the middle section here. We don't talk too much about the middle section, but this is a lot of attributes to have. Enough said on that. We have Jasper, 3-drop 2/4 for 1 lore. Whenever this character quests, chosen opponent character can't quest during the next turn. It's not bad. I don't know if it'll see that much play, but it's not bad. And then Horus, a 3 for 4, 3 for 1. It's just an offensive card. It probably won't see too much play. Alright, Sudden Chill, a 2-drop action song. Of each opponent chooses and discard this card. It's a discard card. I don't think it'll actually see that much play unless you're building a dedicated hand discard deck. We have Mother Gothel. 6 and can be used as ink for 3/6 for 2. While this character is exerted, opposing characters can't quest. Oh my god. This card is nuts. It will see a little bit of play. Some people might be thinking I'm getting a little bit excited about this card, but it's a floodgate. It's a floodgate, and we all know how good floodgates are in card games. If you can just, like, you know, or maybe even have a way to give it evasive or something, you know what I mean? Or healing it, this card, this is a card. This is one of the cards of all time, I'll tell you. Maybe not better than some of the other Emerald cards you've seen so far, but the fact it's a floodgate is really, really powerful. Just got to combo with it to make sure that it sticks around. We got the Mad Hatter. 5 for 2/4 quest for 3. Whenever this character is challenged, you may draw a card. Did I mention that it quests for 3? Your opponent is going to want to get rid of this card and get rid of it. Now, they might attack with something strong, you might only get 1 draw from it, but the fact that it replaces itself is good, and it will give you 3 lore. So that's very good, very good. Steal from the Rich. It's a 5-drop action, can't be used for ink. Whenever one of your characters quests this turn, each opponent loses 1 lore. This gives the Emerald color what Ruby has, and it just makes them lose lore. This is good in a going wide deck. If you're playing a going wide deck, this is a very good card. If you are not, this is a very bad card. It will see play in going wide strategies, and that's fun. That's nice. All right. This is just one of the better green cards, absolutely, or emerald cards. It's an 8-cost genie, but you can shift for 6. Remember how we have a 2-drop genie now? Imagine. It has evasive on a 3/5 for 3 lore body, which is nice. And then it has phenomenal cosmic power. Whenever this character quests, you may play an action with cost 5 or less for free. That's a card. Did I mention Let It Go? Also just costs 5 conveniently. This card can play a lot of actions for free. A lot of good actions for free. This will be meta. This will be a deck. Just whenever you see a 2-drop, whenever you see this 2-drop genie, and if the opponent has 5 ink or more, you might have to think to themselves, darn, they might, if they have an ink drop next turn, they go to 6, they might turn this into this, and it might be a problem. You have basically 1 turn to get rid of it, because it can't quest the turn it comes in, but being evasive makes it harder. And you combine this with like Aurora, give Protective Embrace. It's rough. This card will see play. We have Tamtoa, a 2 for 1, 4 for 1 is fine. It's okay. We have a Tinkerbell, 4 for 2, 3 that quests for 2, evasive. And when you play this character, chosen character gains evasive. Ah, yeah. I smell Mother Gothel / Genie support. If you have something that can be easily outed by challenge, play Tinkerbell and give it evasive for the turn and see if that matters, which it might. Yeah, this card will see play. This is a good card in decks that are basically protect the tower. Kind of. Evasive is like not a hard form protection, but it's not bad. Last Emerald card is Dr. Facilius Cards, ironic. It cannot be used as ink, but it costs 2, and it's an item. You can exert it. You may pay 1 less for the next action you play this turn. I think you guys see that one of the main themes of Emerald is action abuse. And this is a card that will be a 4 of in that deck. So, good card in that deck. And that is it for this video. A little bit longer than usual, I think. But, you know, I'm really excited about this Emerald color. I'm excited to see what this color is capable of. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What is your favorite Emerald card? I will see you guys later. Bye!